Alright, on our way, we're going to Wausau to pick up a pretty rare three-wheeler. You'll see it, it's like from 1970s. I've never owned one of these before, so it should be pretty interesting. It does not run, but it is pretty much complete, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So we're gonna get there and try to film a little bit of it. The guy said that he'd let me film, so we'll see if we can take a quick peek at it before we get it home and start working on it. So stay tuned, should be a pretty fun video.
Yeah, I think it's a 1974.
Alright, 1974.
Yeah.
And
I picked it up with some other ones. I haven't had the time to mess with it yet much.
so it pops over.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah. Huh. Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's running longer than I did last time.
Alright, on our way back home, we got the beast in the back here. Pretty sweet machine. It's probably like one of the first three-wheelers ever made. And it's got a Wisconsin engine in it, which is pretty sweet. So we'll try to get this thing running right and rip it through some snow, have some fun with it, and should be pretty cool. It needs a couple chains. It's got like a drive shaft and then another drive shaft that goes to the back wheels. So needs some work, but I think it's gonna be cool once we finish it all up. We'll probably paint strip it and strip off all the red that's on it and make it look original, and then try to get the headlights to work and all that fun stuff. So stay tuned, should be a fun project. We'll get home and start unloading it. Alright, back home. Here it is. The mean machine. Little walk around. Pretty cool engine on it. You can see all fiberglass. Place for a hitch, rack on the back, basket on the front. Pretty unique. See right there. Pacesetter Enterprises, Cascade, Iowa. Alright, we did the walk around outside. Now we're going to take a closer look. I did some research on this thing, and the Pacesetter was produced in the 70s. I believe this is a 1974 model, so it's right around the same time as the first three-wheelers came out. So Honda came out with a three-wheeler right around the same area, same time frame, and this was right around then. So one of the first three-wheelers ever made. Pretty unique. It was made in Cascade, Iowa, and I looked up this company. It looks like they actually changed companies, I think in the 80s, to something else, and then they sold off to John Deere. So the five-wheeler Gator was made, and that's the company that produced these. So they sold off to John Deere. John Deere made the Gator. So pretty cool history there. And it turns out that only 500 of these bad boys were made before Pacesetter sold off. So this is one of 500. So this thing is pretty rare actually, and this one's actually pretty beat up, but it's pretty cool that the plastics are there, and you can still see the Pacesetter logo right there. These are, like I said before, fiberglass. They're not plastics, they're just fiberglass. You can see all the mesh underneath there, and then this thing is fiberglass. I don't think that came with it. The guy I bought it from said that that was an aftermarket attachment for it, but I'm thinking that maybe the guy just made it. I'm not really sure. But I have not seen one of these on a machine like this before. And it's kind of goofy looking, so I'm guessing it didn't come originally on it or even as an aftermarket option. But maybe it did, and maybe it's super rare. I'm not sure. But we've got a couple parts We've got the headlight over here as well. So this headlight looks like it goes, oh, there's a huge rack for it right here. The headlight looks like it goes right there. So yeah, I think right there, the bolts right there. So this would bolt on right to there like that. And I might end up taking the windshield thing off if it's not original and putting the light back on. But the wires for it are coming out of the engine right here. You can see there's some wires right there. A green, a red, a black. I think that's all there is. And this one's got a yellow and a black coming out of it. So I'm not really sure where the wires go, but we'll have to figure that out. But then the seat just comes off of it like this. You can see. And then the plastics aren't bolted down or anything. But you could hear it start up when we went and looked at it. So it's going to run. It has good compression, you can see. So it should run with a carb clean, I would think. I checked over the drive shafts and everything, and those look pretty decent. That goes to the back chain back here, you can see. And then there's another chain and sprocket that goes back here. So we'll take off the fiberglass and I'll show you, but you can see it's got cool Nerf bars on it. Pretty unique for back then. Pretty cool. And then it's got a clutch. Looks like it was worn through right there. And that's a pretty common problem I saw in a couple pictures. The clutch was getting worn through the cover right there. It's got Goodyear tires on it. Pretty good knobs left yet. And it's got a little back light right here. And then a back brake, doesn't work. And then a thumb throttle that I believe does work. Let's see. Yeah, works well enough, I think. But yeah, and then it's got the air filter right here. And then a custom-made muffler back here. I'll show you guys that too. But pretty unique. And a lot of people collect these because, like I said, they're very, very rare. And I believe this is a 8 horsepower engine on it, so it's pretty big. They're supposed to go 40 something. Close to 50, I think. So the engine's pretty big for what this thing is. I can't see any logos on it or anything. We'll have to clean it up before we can see anything on it. But definitely cool. Big old carburetor on it. The gas tank, I believe, is original, but I think it's missing the cover for it. So usually it has another fiberglass cover for the gas tank. And maybe this isn't original. I'm not sure. All right, let's take a look underneath here. Pretty interesting. Check this out. So it looks like there's some wires going to the back. A bunch of wires, actually. Where is that going to? Must be a brake wire. You can see right there, there's like a little switch that the wire's going to. That's pretty interesting. So when you pull the brake, I'm guessing it signals the wire up to here. And there must have been 2 brake lights at one point. Looks like it got melted pretty bad right there. Guessing from the exhaust. But yeah, this is a makeshift exhaust right here. It looks like it says Type 296. And it goes up the back like that. I don't know. Whoever made that, it was kind of interesting. But you can see it's got 1 shock in the back. It was supposed to have 2. So one that was going down from here to there. So it's missing that. And then it looks like the brake cable was supposed to pull these onto here. So you can see the cable coming in through here. Was supposed to go and hit that up there. So we'll have to try to figure out a brake cable for it. But yeah, that's not gonna work. All right, here is the pull start mechanism. We've got the pull rope. I had to get a couple knots out of it, but it looks like it's here. So it looks like basically we've got to, I think it winds up right to there, that point. I'm pretty sure. Looks like the cage is broken right here. We'll probably snip off some of that so it doesn't get in the way. Or push it through like that. All right, I think I got it. Let's see if it rolls up here. What the heck happened there? It's getting stuck right there. All right, I found a little bit thinner rope to use. So we're gonna try that. See if it lasts here. See if it's strong enough to pull this thing over. I would think it would be, but you never know. Might have to make the knot a little bit higher up here. Kind of works. Isn't the greatest in the world, but turns it over. So that's what we needed. We'll work on that a little bit later, but the main goal is to get this thing running. So you can see it turns over. Probably needs a little WD-40 in there. But alright, you can see the difference in the thickness of the rope. So this was a little bit too thick. We got the pull cord working, kinda. So let's take a look underneath this clutch cover. I'm a little bit worried that the belt's probably gonna be broken. I looked online and the belts for these are really hard to find. So hopefully when we take this thing off, the belt will be there and in good shape. Highly doubtful, but we'll see. It looks like that needs to come off. And I think that's the only thing holding it on. Millimeter. Let's see. Just use that. Oh, that's why he used that as a gasket. Oh, the belt's still there. It's in good shape. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Look at the old belt. That's awesome. Still in decent shape. So we'll keep that off for now. But look at that clutch. That's pretty cool. That's an old one. All right, well, should we clean up the carburetor? Let's see if we can clean this out. I don't know what the fuel looks like, so we'll check out the fuel first, and then we'll clean up the carburetor. Take a look at the fuel here. I don't know if there's like a on-off. Oh yeah, it looks like there is. Let's see. Looks like that's an on-off. Let's see if there's any gas going to the carburetor. Probably all pour out. I'll open up the valve here. Let's see if it works. A little bit's pouring out, not much. Might not be a whole lot of gas in here. Oh yeah, it's empty. There's a little valve up here. Oh yeah, it's pouring out pretty good now. Alright. So that works. Should we try putting some gas to the carburetor, see if it turns over before cleaning it up? Probably won't, but let's try it. Get some gas going to it. Is it leaking? Not leaking. That's a good sign. Alright, let's see what happens when we pull this thing over. Pull rope broke again. That sucks. But that looks like we're gonna have to clean out the carburetor. Looks like this little air filter thing comes out. Like a sponge in there, basically. And then we can see in there a couple bolts holding that on to the carburetor right here. Alright. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing off. Alright, we got the carburetor off. Feels pretty heavy. Let's see how much gas is in there. I wonder if anything was getting to it. Doesn't look like too much gas in there. Not much coming out. Alright, let's take a look in here. See what's going on. No gas pouring out yet. Oh, there we go. There's some. Alright, so I just noticed it's an old Mikuni carb. You can see Japan right there. So that's pretty cool. There's quite a bit of gas in there, so looks like there's a little jet right there. I don't know how this thing comes off. Maybe just a tap. And there we go. A little bit of rust forming in there. There's the float. It's interesting. There's the float. There's the needle right there. Looks pretty good. Alright, looks like the main jet is in there. Doesn't look too dirty. Pretty simple carburetor. I don't know if that's moving. There we go. It's not plugged up or anything. You can see. Alright, anything else in there? We'll blow through with the air compressor and then some carb cleaner and we should be good. Alright, carburetor's back on, all hooked up. Let's quick check the oil before we attempt to start this thing. Just to make sure there's some oil in it. Don't want to run it dry. A little dipstick right here. Oh, geez. Bunch of gas in it, looks like. of gas just poured out of it. So I'm guessing that was from trying to start it 1,000 times. So we should probably do a quick oil change because that's pretty bad. All right, I found the plug on it right here. So this is what the plug looked like. That was just right in there. All right, all the oil's drained out of it, or gas, I should say. Let's add some fresh oil to it. I don't know how much it takes. We'll have to check with the dipstick. But probably quite a bit. Okay, quick check on the oil. You can see it's all the way up to the top line. So we're good there. Now it's got fresh oil in it. Let's attempt to start this thing. All right, let's see if we can get her now. Pull cord broke again, but we got her going. It was shooting something out up somewhere. Let's see. Must have been out of the clutch area. All right, here we go. Sounds pretty good. Probably idle down even lower than this. That's pretty low. producing about 5 to 6 volts. So the black must be ground, green, and the red must be hot coming out of there. All right, we got the light working. Let's see when we rev it up if it gets brighter here. That's pretty cool. Now I'm gonna see if black is a kill switch. We'll try grounding it out to the engine. Yep, black is a kill switch. Let's shut off the machine. So let's get all this hooked up. I'm surprised the light still works actually. But let's get all this hooked up and wired up. All right, headlight is all wired up. Check it out. Pretty cool. All right, so I was able to get the brake hooked up back here, and as you can see, it's working now. What it does is grab that whole axle and it locks it up. So I'll show you guys. So you can see it's moving. Brake on. So it works pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. I found the parts in this little container right here, so I was able to fix that. We're gonna get the seat attached to the plastics. Let's do that next. So we'll snip that plug off and connect those wires. Alright, that's on. Alright, the chain for this thing is in the mail. It should be coming tomorrow, so we'll pick up the video there and get those chains installed. Stay tuned. First ride coming up. Alright, brand new chain came in the mail. It came with 2 master links. I measured the old link and cut that chain right here, and we got it on the 3-wheeler here. You can see that chain is new, and then that one I had, so it's a little bit loose, but that's as tight as I could get it to where both of them were tight like that. So we'll see how it goes. It tightens up once you ride it, but I'm sure with, let's see, weight on the back, yeah, it tightens up a little bit. You can see. So chains are on. It's too dark to test drive it. Otherwise, we would take this thing for a test drive. So in the morning, we'll zip it around the yard and take this thing for a test drive. See if she goes. Alright, here we go. First ride in this thing. Let's get some gloves on. It stormed last night. You can see the branches down in the backyard. So we're going to have to avoid those when we ride this thing. If it even moves, I don't even know yet if those chains are going to hold up or not. So, without further ado, let's do this thing. Oh yeah, we're moving. That was the goal. Well, I tried tack welding it a couple times right there and it's not holding up, so there must be just too much torque there, and I think it's ripping off the tube right there. So we're gonna have to try to figure out something with that. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but yeah, we'll have to fix that and then take it for another ride. But that'll be the video for today. We got this thing running and riding, and I'd say that's a pretty big success considering the shape it was in, and the brake works. So we got a lot accomplished on this thing. Stay tuned for next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and until next time, we are out.